like me cause that like she can count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex. She like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, one point to God.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts, whole team counting, that's a big number.
Yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? In the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, you don't want problems. I say you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, you don't. Yeah, call us dangerous. Ain't too many can play with us. See what this game here taking us. No barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much. Actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be heard from your mom to your pop to the beat to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my whole team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like blah. Yeah.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Dallas Cowboys. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Ready up.
54, right there. 54, Mike. You're not ready.
Snap.
Jones on first down. Finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards on the game's opening play. A lot of people thinking that this could be a good year for Sterling Shepard to step out of the shadows of Odell Beckham Jr. But a season ago, pretty good for Sterling Shepard. 66 receptions, 872 yards, and now hoping for a 1,000-yard campaign in 2019. Running it with the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year a season ago, Saquon Barkley. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Hey, orbit.
Mike 55, Mike 55, Mike 55. I'm going to come back to you.
Operating from the gun, Jones. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Jones. He's got a man. It's Corey Coleman. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Third and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down.
Here we go. 8 read. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Here we go. Here we go.
Hey, watch it. Watch it.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. Jalen Smith, who took a huge step forward last year, in on the tackle for Dallas.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Pick me up. Here we go.
On 2nd and 7, Jones looking deep here for Dion Lewis. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was looking to find some space for Dion Lewis there, and it's third down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Baby, that's a baby shot. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Hey.
Let's go, D. Big series right here, so we got to step it up. Right there.
Now Jones to throw on third down. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Mahomes going to throw. And that'll be incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Connects here with the tight end, Blake Jarwin. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback.
Ready to break.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
I got you. Say. Get it.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, his second sack of the night. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Slam.
Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 50.
Hey, zoom.
Mike's 5-4. Mike 5-4. Mike's 5-4.
Big trip. Big trip.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Eli Apple, good to the core there as he gets in and knocks it away. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Down carry by Elliott. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. We're scoreless after 1. On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Throwing, Jones. That's caught. It's Coleman. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
But we see so many good battles in the NFC East, and Cowboys and Giants, they rarely disappoint. They didn't disappoint last year. Cowboys got the better of the Giants both times. Week 2, 20-13, and then in Week 17, a thriller, 36-35. That was a game where Dak Prescott threw 4 touchdown passes.
Five. Mike 55. Here we go.
On 1st down, Jones. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Jones throwing complete here to Tate. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4.
Here's Jones throwing on 3rd and long. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This will be taken at the 10. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. Going to take a shot for Gallup. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The Giants to begin their next drive. They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has really. They come up here now 1st down.
Mike 54. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
Jones now throwing on 1st down. It's caught by Coleman. It's a Giant 1st down on a gain of 16.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
We won. Hey, Haywood. Mike 55, Mike 50. Go.
Jones on 1st and 10. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates are going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Now, a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. Over the middle, complete. That's Lamb. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them. From midfield, here's Mahomes. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and now it's 3rd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Lorenzo Carter has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 12-yard line.
Down.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
Hey, Echo.
54's Mike. 54's Mike.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Dumps it off to Lewis. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and it's a second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. He's got a first down and more past the 30. And finally brought down at the 34-yard line. Give them 18 there, and the Giants have a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Jones. He's got his man. This is Tate. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row, I'm going to stay confident and keep flinging it. I'll just figure there's something wrong with the football.
That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Go.
Hey, check Mike. Check Mike. Watching your ball.
Bravo.
Mike 55.
Now Jones from the gun, he'll throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
54's Mike. 54's Mike.
Back to throw. Jones. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
So we are at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. After a rare scoreless first half, these teams now just looking for something as the second half gets underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And we thought this game had the potential to be tight, maybe not this tight, scoreless as we start the third quarter.
And I love the way you use the word tight. I'm going to take it a little bit different direction here because it's not just tight on the scoreboard. I think both offenses have been tight in how they've played this game. No one's been loose. No one's been free. They've got to find a way to make some plays, and I don't think you do it if you're really tight in everything that you're doing in the game.
That one good for 26 and a first down. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 46. Here's Elliott. A gain of 3, second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
From the 44, Mahomes. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper. His 5th touchdown now on the year as his guys are on the board first here tonight. Well, these two teams battled through a scoreless first half. Finally, a breakthrough here in quarter number 3.
And I just wonder how that played for both of them psychologically, because when you battle through a scoreless first half, now you know that every possession is increasingly crucial. Who can put points on the board, make the other team chase? Wonder if you get a lift and if they get deflated a little bit.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Boy, so another interception, CD. And it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They go to Elliott again. And an alley to run. And they'll get this down to the 10.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Now a handoff, running off tackle right. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Mike 5-4.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mahomes. And this is caught. It's Cooper. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games for the Cowboys in 2018. 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoffs against the Rams. And if you add up the numbers between the two teams last year, he was over 1,000 for the 3rd time in 4 NFL. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. From 4 yards out. And the Cowboys use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Zerline now for the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0 the score as they regroup with 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So that'll back him up 5.
Ready? 90 Wolf.
54 Mike.
Defense wins championships, baby. Hey, exit. 5.
Here's Jones to throw on 2nd down. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jones now operating from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is, will he be able to bounce back in the next one? Because right now, this has not been his game.
And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. They're inching closer and closer here to the wrong goal line.
When you're backed up like that, all you're trying to do is make sure you don't give up a big play, right? You don't miss an assignment that really gets you into more trouble.
Here's Riley Dixon now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. This is fielded at the 27. yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.